Welcome guys, back again. See all of this?
Be something.
Be something.
And play something.
Randy, introduce yourself.
Alright, hey, I am Randy Richards. Some people know me as Randall. I am a director, cinematographer, and a photographer. I've been doing this for the last 10 years probably. 10 years? Yeah, fam, 10 years. Yeah, since 2009, 10 basically. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years and this is being creative. My little office space, you know. This is what we do. This is where the magic happens. Yeah.
Alright, speaking of magic, I know you have the Blackmagic 6K.
Facts, yeah.
Alright, I need you to explain all of this. What is all of this? Like like somebody will take picture.
Yeah.
You know, so the last time I said that somebody attacked me.
Attack you?
Yeah, because
they
didn't know themselves.
Yeah, I mean, some people would just start not really know everything. So, you know, when I say, true, you can't in the corner fall.
True.
So,
but as me I say, let me just see how all of this setup, how all this work.
Alright, cool. So what we have here today, broken down completely, is basically my rig that I work with primarily. I use a Blackmagic 6K, and then pretty much I build it out completely, which you guys will see in a few bit. And also because guys. We're going to go through and talk about all the different bits and pieces and parts that I find really necessary to make, you know, the camera fully functional, very reliable, have the amount of redundancy that you need to ensure that when you're on a shoot day, you can flow without having too many breaks. Your client don't have to worry about anything, you just go. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, so let's begin.
And all of them necessary?
Alright, so necessary is a matter of perspective. For me, I consider it necessary for the level that I work at. So I offer a certain level of quality and reliability to my clients. So I believe this is necessary to ensure that I get the right kinds of stuff. So as a professional, yes. But as a beginner, no. As an intermediary, no. You only need certain things along the way. So when you're just starting and you don't really have the budget for acquire all of these things, then you might just get the camera, memory card, and power solution and a lens. That's what's necessary at the time. But then when you start go further, you're like, alright, well, we're doing more dynamic shots, we need better focus control, we need different options to focus, we need better power management instead of changing the small batteries a lot. Yeah, we need a separate monitor, bigger monitor to see a screen, you need lens support, matte box, this, that. So it depends on all the things that you use. So it will become necessary over time.
Alright.
Let's go through.
Let's build this.
Alright, cool. So you want to build? We're gonna build right now, or just want to talk about each of the pieces first?
Meanwhile, we're gonna build it to start with them.
Alright, cool. Sweet. Alright, so the first thing you actually need is the camera. You have to have a camera, isn't it? Yeah, you could have for me, before this, I was using the Sony A7III, which you may have seen before. Then I switched it out and got the 6K.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Why this R3 and the A7III?
Alright, so because I work as a photographer and a cinematographer, the R3 has a 43 megapixel sensor. I really wanted to have a high megapixel count for images that I do, and then I wanted to just have a camera that was still a Sony that could work. As S-Log2, S-Log3 is really good at it.
Because you know that based on the high megapixel count, you know the video
quality. Yeah, but what the A7R3 does is that it has a cropping mode. So when you crop in, it crops in to like a 4K on the sensor and samples from there. Because 43 megapixels is like 8,000 by whatever. So it crops into Super 35, and then when you sample, you get a really good quality footage from there. So it's better to crop in when you're filming on the A7R3. The only disadvantage I see other than that about the megapixels is just really like low light. The low light is not that like noticeable, honestly, in extreme conditions. But otherwise, they people rent them from me. I've used it on multiple sets with stuff for Junior Gang, you know, with other bigger cameras like FS7, whatever, and the editors match the footage very good. So we use different cameras, A7III, A7R3, A7S2, you know, all the different cameras, and they match them completely. Good. Yeah. So yeah. So for this, today we have the Blackmagic 6K, and we have a Sigma Art 18 to 35 1.8. This is just my general purpose lens that I use.
Which lens is this?
A Sigma Art 18 to 35 f1.8.
Oh, the f1.8.
Yeah, so you'll see with the Raven kit that Apple used to sell for the Red, this is pretty much a standard lens that they use. Most Blackmagic people generally use this lens. It's a very sharp lens. It goes down to f1.8, so it's a very fast lens. And it's like 18 to 35, so it's wide. You get a wide angle to a medium, you know, yeah, so that's pretty dope. And as you see here now, I have focus rings on it because this is a photo lens. So what I've done is I applied a focus ring gearing so that when we use this, which you'll see later, this can grab the gears and control the focus and zoom there. And I got a continuous ring here, so also for that purpose. Then on the front right here, what you have is this is the ring that holds the matte box, and in that ring you have a IR filter. So the Blackmagic sensor doesn't do well with IR, so when you put ND filters on it, that's neutral density filters, they will introduce more infrared light, and what will happen is that in the blacks, you'll see the blacks looking very red. So the IR filter cuts out the IR so that when you're shooting with heavy ND, the blacks stay black. So you need this for a Blackmagic camera anytime you have ND on it. I'm a bag of technical stuff. Yeah.
no, get as technical as I can.
Yeah.
Because when I shoot with the 4K, I see what they're talking about. I really see what they're talking about. Like, I'm like,
yeah, anytime
black shirt, but
white look red.
Black,
it's an ND. You need an IR filter, or at least have NDs that have IR built in it. It's necessary.
Because I realize when I know that most Jamaicans don't really know these type of stuff. Like upcoming videographers don't really know them type of stuff. They want to see it.
Yeah.
You see me? Them don't know what this for, what that for. They want to see it.
Yeah.
You see me? So let's set it up.
Alright, cool. So first thing we're gonna have here, let me just talk about the cage. So the first thing you need when you get pretty much any camera as a filmmaker, I don't know, a lot of people do it now with their Sonys or whatever, you need a camera cage. This is essentially the core. So this protects your investment, and then this allows you have a lot of different holes here. So cheese plate holes, quarter 20, 3/8, whatever, array locking pin, so you can add different kind of assortments and accessories, which you guys will see right now. The second thing you need is a base plate. So this small part here is the base plate, and then you have 15mm rods going through. So this is what you'll mount your accessories to. So the camera plate the camera cage mounts to the base plate, which you see, and the base plate handles all the rest of the accessories. So let's start with the cage. So we're gonna have to pop off the big boy lens here. You can hold that for me, got it? Then we're gonna put this better.
It's like how much for one of these cage?
The cage itself is how much was the cage? The cage itself was probably, I'm not gonna put in something there. $100 maybe. Was it $100?
And that's just this alone?
Yeah, I think it's $100 for that alone. Yeah, was it 100? Yeah, I feel like because the tilter one sell for like, the tilter is like the expensive one.
The smaller version.
One. Yeah, man. It's the smaller version, and it's something there. Well, I forgot. I try to cheat it, but I'm not to cheat it. I'm do it the right way. Yeah, the cage is probably like $89 or something like that. But you know what? It's worth it. Because if you're paying $2,000 for your camera, you don't want it mash up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't want it mash up at all, man. So you won't definitely need the cage. Cause I've had people who don't use cages, and it's not pretty.
It's not pretty. I know.
Cool.
Because when you want to mount accessories on it, it's crazy.
Yeah, facts. So generally we have a lot of these little screws that hold it together. Which I need the next one. Where is it? There's another one. Can somebody pass for me? No, it's fine. I can find it.
So and the one that comes with this doesn't work?
Which one? What are you talking?
The Allen key that comes with it.
Yeah. So I put all my Allen keys. So what I have here is a toolkit. So it's my toolkit for everything. I have my different Allen keys, these adapters for the 15mm rods, washers, screws, tie down screws, everything. Just in case, when you're on set, you need all of these little things so that if you lose something, you're not fumbling around trying to find it. You're just like, alright, that gone, on to the next one.
On to the next one.
You need it.
That's true.
Yeah, so let me just put on the lens before I time this. So yeah, so now we have our cage almost on. We have 2 screws on the cage, one at the top and one on the lower end, so we can lock the cage. This is just to prevent it from shifting around. You don't want your cage shifting around, your camera shifting around in the cage. There's nothing worse than having an entire rig built out and then it's shaky. You don't want not shake at all. You don't want the camera shaky at all. So this in here has locking pins on it, and this up here, just lock that. You want to make sure you lock it tight enough. You lock it tight enough. There you go. So we'll check it straight. Yeah, it's straight. Cool. So now that we have our cage down, the next thing we're going to do is put on our quick release plate.
So what's the weight on this right now?
The weight on this, I would guess this is about 4 pounds. 4 or 5 pounds, maybe 4 pounds, yeah.
So when you put on everything,
it's about probably like 20 pounds. Yeah, this is about 4 pounds. Yeah, but that's the thing. But I used to hate having heavy cameras, but after traveling and working,
but you know that based on the weight, you know that it's stable.
Yeah, the weight gives you an added level of stability, which is good. And to be honest, if you use any sort of professional camera, chances are it's gonna be heavy. So you just have to hit the gym. Yeah, hit the gym, man. So we just put on our quick release plate. Yeah.
So that come like the gym. This come like the gym.
Yeah, fam. Just carrying crates up and down the stairs. Yeah. Like when I go upstairs, downstairs. When I come here, upstairs, downstairs. Like no need for workout. Alright, cool. So we'll lock that. I want to make sure so everything tight and secure, because we don't want to shake. It's a hell when you're there on set and something start shake and you're like, oh my god. First thing I pull focus. Yeah, pull on everything. So our quick release plate is on. So our quick release, we will put the next thing on, which is the base plate, and the base plate goes into here. So I have to loosen that out. Boom, there you go. Locked. And it has a lock here, a security lock, so it won't fall out. Well, so it won't fall out.
No.
There you go. So now that we have that secured in, we can lock here. Lock it tight. Oh no, sir. No shake. Good. The next thing I think we should put on here is probably our lens support. So what this is, this supports the lens support. Yeah, so basically if you have a heavy lens on the camera, you don't want to have too much weight on the mount. So to reduce the amount of weight and reduce the flex in the cage.
Mount.
Yeah.
Mount.
The camera
also
mount.
the flange. Camera flange.
Camera flange, yeah.
Flange, yes.
Yeah.
That's not a name for it.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Camera flange.
Yeah. So you want to reduce the weight here, so there's less pivot in the camera on the cage. Because as much as you tighten everything, it's metal and it will flex. So this prevents that kind of flex, and when you pull in focus, you won't see that shift in the image. When the motors kick the lens, it will just keep it sturdy and it stays. So very important piece, kind of expensive also. It actually costs more than the cage. This is about $100 and something.
Just this alone?
Yeah, this is $100 and something.
Just hold up the lens.
$110, I think. Yeah.
And you just hold it up.
It just hold up the lens. That's all it does. Nothing else. Just hold the lens.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's worth it. It's absolutely nice. But they end up lose this part in the sand to blur it. But it was expensive too. It was $20 to get it replaced, I think. Forget that part there. Alright. Boom. There we go. And most lenses have a space that you can put it, because this one have a little grit right here, so you just position it, tighten it.
Because you know, like the Ronin S
comes with yes.
Comes with it.
That is correct. Yeah. So you can put it on when you support your lens. Alright.
Makes sense. So you have any specific point?
Yeah. Most lenses generally have like, see that there? This right here, so there's like a little textured area that some lenses have where you can support it on the barrel. Some cameras have actually a screw hole in it, like a 1/4 hole. So you can actually screw off this thing here, and you can screw the mount into the lens. So the LHCP have it on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can just screw it straight into the lens, which is better. That's way more sturdy than just having this.
Just having that.
Yeah, but not every lens have the screw hole. Those are more professional ones. Alright, so our lens mount is on. The next thing we're going to put on is our handle.
Because you wouldn't classify this as a cinema lens, right?
No, it's a still lens, it's a photo lens. Okay. Yeah, it's a cinema.
Why wouldn't you classify it as a cinema lens?
Well, cinema lenses generally are a bit more manual. There are a few things. For one, the focus throw, which is the distance the focus ring travels, is very short. probably like 90 degrees. On cinema lenses, it can be 270 and above, 310 degrees, so that you have a lot of travel, which gives you more flexibility in grabbing the focus. With this, as soon as you go so, the focus gone. It's done. It's done. It's hard for you to focus with that. So you have, and then you have manual gears. So these gears would be built in on the lens, and you'll have a gear for focus, you'll have a gear for zoom, and you have a gear manual iris or aperture. So you can control all of those. The lenses usually have less breathing. That's when you're changing focus breathing. You don't see the image kind of growing larger, like it's zooming in and zooming out. Cinema lenses don't have that. Good quality cinema, but still lenses have that because it doesn't matter.
How would you call a good quality cinema lens?
Like a brand, which one I'd recommend as a good quality?
Yeah, well, I love Zeiss. So
yeah, Zeiss is good. Zeiss is a very good standard lens. The Sigma version, the cine lens of this lens is pretty good too. You have a lot of different ones. You have SLR Magic, you have the APO, micro primes, hyper primes. You have Eric's made a single lens. You have the Orion Atlas anamorphics. You have Red Mix lens. You have Kinefinity that makes lenses too. That's really good. Yeah, so you have Rockin' on Zines, and they have the Zine CF, I think, which are not bad. So there are a lot of different lenses, and then you have the Master Primes from Ariane, the all of this. The really
all of this is based on your budget.
Yeah, so you can start with the Rockin' on them.
Yes, which are the cheaper version.
Yeah.
You get like total of like
a kit. Yeah, that's true.
Like it comes with a 24, a 35, 50, a 50, a 85. Yeah, that's basically it.
And they have the gears. It have the focus gear and they're primes, so they won't have zoom.
Yeah,
but they're great. They're good.
And also. Based on the type of lens, you can go in closer on a subject.
Yeah.
I realize that because based on the type of glass, I can go closer to the subject than going closer with the subject with the still lens. Yeah,
for some. But
unless it's a macro lens.
Yeah, this one particularly is a macro one, so you can focus still like about this close.
That close.
Yeah, that close you can get focus. But most other lenses, if they're non-macro, they probably just get like half a meter, so or of 12-18 inches out, which is still pretty good.
That can work.
Yeah, so that's pretty. But this is nice, so you can get really close cool effects with this. But so all of those different types of lenses. So the next thing I will put on, before I put the handle on, I'm gonna put on some of the accessories. So when you get your cage, one of the other things I'd recommend you get for any camera, it doesn't matter if it's a Blackmagic or a Sony or a Canon RF, you want to get a cable clamp. You need this. What's the name? RF?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, with different levels, yeah.
Yeah, this is so different levels.
You need a cable clamp, because these prosumer, you would call them, cameras are usually don't have BNC clamps or whatever. They probably have a regular HDMI and whatever, which just plug in and out. When you're on set, you don't want this to be jumping out and jumping in, and you don't want anybody to hit it and it break. I have a brethren, he has a Blackmagic 4K, and him accidentally, he was just a drive and him somehow it bounced and the USB port tear out.
What?
The camera tear out. We don't even know how it tear out. Tear off completely, and he never have one of these. And I was like, bro, get yourself one of these. This is the first thing you should probably get.
How much one of these?
$20.
And what's the name of it?
This is a cable clamp.
Cable clamp. And all this
so this one so this one clamps the HDMI and the C USB-C cables.
Type C.
Type C, that is correct. So we're gonna put this on right here. Is it this one? Yeah, that one. Put that in, screw that in. Boom.
And this goes on the side where the connections are.
That is correct. Then put it on the other side instead of use this. Let's plug out them. So
one thing I hate the flops.
Yeah, I hate the flops. Can't take them. I don't want to take them off. I wish they were detachable, like you could just pluck them out and plug them back in.
But then again,
probably lose them. Yeah, you probably lose them. Alright, cool. So we have our cable clamp. We're not going to tighten it down yet until we plug in the cables. But I just wanted to get that in. We have a few other accessories that I got because of what I needed them for. So this is a single rod mount or clamp. So I'm gonna put one of these 50mm rods in here. This one actually holds my focus motor, which you'll see in a minute. So I'm gonna put that on, which is here. Turn it a little bit. Oh, you have an extra camera angle. Yes, you don't have to worry about it. So put that in. Starter. Where is she? Is the next one or the next group? The next black one. Oh, you know, probably put it back up there, so. Emma, Ella, Fiddle, bro. Yeah, another one for Fiddle. So put that there. They make these specific for the cages. So you have this is the version 2 of this cage, and I have a version 1, which is just slightly different. But you have to pay attention to those little details because some things won't work with the version 2 cage. So yeah, so we put that on. So of course make sure that tight. Boom. The next thing we wanted to put on is the hard drive holder. So this camera uses a CF card, SD card, and it can take hard drives from a USB-C input. I use this because it's faster and it's a larger space. When I shoot 6K RAW, you want to have as much footage space as you can.
So you don't use the CF cards?
So I don't use CF cards, compact flash or cards at all. But I use the it's not CF, it's like C whatever it named, C fast.
Yeah,
that is
C
so
fast.
the smaller CF cards. So I don't use C fast cards, but I keep a SD in here just in case something happens, I forget something or I need something or whatever. I always keep a SD card in here and then I just plug in the SSD.
So suppose it record to the SD.
I will never record to the SD unless there's this card, the SSD is not in there.
Okay.
That's the only way I record. And if you record to the SD, you just copy it up.
So is it a case where? So is it a case where you just plug it in and that's it? You just record like now?
Yeah, pretty much. You plug it in, it detects it, and then you just format it, and you're good to go from there.
I was considering this one.
Yeah, definitely a
To
better.
record with the on the Sony.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So can this be used? This only used on mirrorless cameras? I assume.
Any camera that can pretty much take SSD like that, then yeah, you're good to go.
Because I've never seen this like on a 1DX Mark II or something.
Yeah, because they don't really take those inputs. The 1DX will just record the cards because they're just really more for photos. So you just have an internal SD.
Videos. I'll put in videos. There's a Peter Mckinnon.
I mean, people use the videos. Yeah, people use it to do videos to like something they use it. And when him again, Peter Mckinnon films with his 1D. Vlogs with his 1D. So it's a big honking camera. But just for the format of the how the camera functions, you wouldn't have an external SSD for that. Yeah, but for cinema cameras, yeah. And then these you're swapping drives more frequently. If you know, when you film,
this
is easier.
This is 500 gigs.
That is correct. Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. And you have the 1 terabyte. I think we shoot and we done 1.8 terabyte in a day.
I know.
Yeah.
I know,
Alright. So you know Schweppes.
I shoot that amount and I'm not shooting ProRes RAW. Imagine.
Yeah. ProRes RAW, kind of heavy. Alright, so we have that on. We need now. The next thing I'm gonna put on is where is it? Here it is. So I have a next rod mount, which you'll see why all of these are necessary in a minute. So I have one more of these.
So this goes to the side.
Yeah, and turn around.
Understand.
So you can see. Boom, see that? It's gonna go right here. So y'all can see it. Let me see if we can. What's the upside down style? Which one of them are you going now? Oops, this, no, that. Which one? I feel like the upside down. There we go.
See, like Google for do all of this.
I know. You just kind of learn. I don't know. It's just I think incrementally over time you just kind of learn, cause you get to work around different people. You see them how they do it. You watch YouTube videos too. You see how they do it, and then you kind of experiment little. Because before this, when I had the 60D or the 7D, I never had a cage, but
the 60D.
60D.
The 60D.
Yeah, I mean, they have a 60D too, man. Yeah. That's back then, bro. Way back.
Yeah, I remember your view as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. Yeah. So the 60D.
Start from somewhere.
60. So before, my first camera was actually probably a Sony Cybershot, the one with the curve on the side. And my first camera back in the day. Yeah. And then I had it didn't flip. It was more like a brick kind of camera like this.
Oh, the brick
and
one.
And it curved on one side.
Okay.
And then after that was probably the Fuji.
This is what.
And it like the side like curved like this, and one side straight. Yeah.
So Fuji you start with.
And then Fuji after that, which was a bridge camera. I don't remember which Fuji, but it was a Fuji.
So you go to school for all of this?
No, I went to school for IT. Yeah. My degree is in IT.
So the same thing, and then
switch over to
this.
Yep.
So no schooling.
No, everything online, everything school of hard knocks, school of life, school of learning by yourself.
So like, who would who was your mentor? Most of the time.
You know, I didn't have a direct mentor per se. I would say that just different folks that I rap with or whatever, just online. If there's anybody mentor, I used to be on F-Stoppers a lot. I used to be on F-Stoppers a lot. I used to watch Sue Bryce and Lara Jade and you know Philip Bloom and those kind of people were popular in the space. You know, they are always popping up on the scene. So I used to watch their stuff and look at what they do overseas. And you know, like Annie Leibovitz and people like that who are always, you know, big pop. Mario Tessino, you know, I used to watch those photographers. Video wise, it's just I kind of just naturally progressed into video after photography. Yeah, and it just kind of, to be honest, I just learn as we go.
So you think you lost the passion for photography?
After, like, I would say yeah, to a degree, because I just like after a point, I felt like I wanted something. And not that I did the most challenging photography job ever, but I definitely felt like photography in Jamaica wasn't getting a certain kind of respect that, you know, so you weren't getting to do the certain quality or level of jobs that you want to do, and those kinds of jobs are still far and few. You know, if you want a big job with big set where you can put up 8x8, 12x12 butterfly and I like this and I do that and whatever, but you don't really get that in a photography. People just want you to come out, shoot a picture. You might bring your light and so on, but
they leave it too busy about the light.
They're not business at all.
They just want to see the picture, background separated and that's it.
Yeah, and it clean and the color them nice. So you don't get that kind of challenge. And then at the time, cameras were getting way cheaper. Everybody was buying a camera, and clients just never really care about like.
And then the price, price just went
down. So everybody have cameras. So I was like, yo, I'm not gonna stay in this industry just only because the costs are going down, and me as a man, I like the cheap work. So I was like, all right, well, I'm glad to do that video. Yeah, I go to doing video, you know. So I was like, all right, let's just jump on this and see. And I loved it. So, and since then, it's just been mostly video.
And this is the angle.
Yeah. So we just put on the handle and it uses a Iris style locking pin, which is like a 2-pin something to prevent the handle from shifting left and right.
The angle that I use doesn't have this.
Yeah, does it clamp on? Is the NATO clamp you use? It's a slide on. Yeah. Those are nice too. What I like about the NATO, it's fast.
Yeah, fast because you have this.
Yeah.
But I like this.
Because it's secure.
Yeah, but I like this grip.
And the shape of it,
yeah. I like this grip.
If they had this in a NATO clamp style, I'm gonna get one of these too, just for NATO, yeah. Just to have one extra one too.
You know, the first time setting up the 4K.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell did you do? Like, who you put it on and then say shit, YouTube, bam.
Yeah.
And this is so it gone.
And then I like it because I have like a magnetic thing here, so for the Allen key.
Just like that, for the Allen key, don't you? So
yeah. The other cages, 4K cage have that one. Okay, nice. Yeah, it makes sense that you just have everything secure and you have to lose. Go another thing, no, general.
What else you put in?
So, alright, so next we have this nickel. Tighten this back down.
How much more stuff need to go on?
Boy, Bridget will have a lot more things to go on. As I say, it's a proper solid rig. So we're going to go next. We're gonna put in the other rods that I said we have here. So we're gonna put in the carbon fiber here. This is to hold the focus module, which you'll see in a bit. Then we're gonna put on the next aluminum rod here. This is to hold the zoom and the focus motors, which you'll see in a bit. Cool. So I have those. Damn. So we have all of those on right now. So let's what next we can do. Let us put on the let's put on these. We can deal with these next. Yeah, actually, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this next. So this is the distribution box. This distributes the power, D-box. So it has different power outputs. You see here. I don't really use this as much. These are for more red and area and bigger cameras. It's 3-pin power, 4-pin power, and D-tap. So I just use that, and this sends power. I would use this with a V-mount battery. This is a V-mount. You have a gold mount one, and then this will green is good.
What's the power on this one? How long this battery lasts?
This battery can last me a day with my current setup, basically. I entirely like 8 hours or so with this setup.
How much things it can power at a
time? It can power 1, 2, 3, as many things as you can plug in it. So I have 4 outlets here, but I also have a splitter, so I could split that into more power.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have 4 main, but basically it can take up to, the battery can take up 14.4 volts power draw.
Separate.
Provide,
Okay.
Yeah, so then once you don't overload the power, we'll get.
Port is 14.5.
Yeah, you can get 14.5 outright from the distribution here. Alright, so let us put this on. So this slides on this side. There you go. And then it has some locking. Just lock that in there. So we can lock that in for now. So we'll see it building up now. We're getting there. It's getting heavier.
Yeah, the screen covered.
Yeah, but that's fine. Once you set the cameras, when you're shooting film, once you set the camera, you don't really change it unless you're changing scene. So if I need to, I can just deviate back a little, and done. Or I have these controls here. So once I have my ND on, the only thing I'll be changing is really ISO maybe. I'm not really changing shutter speed, and I'm not changing white balance. So I can change my ISO right here without touching the screen.
So what would you say the difference between this and a DSLR camera?
A DSLR, the camera itself overall?
No, this camera.
Yeah.
Compared to like a 6D or a 70D or a, what should I say? You know, the typical,
Nikon 72. You have more features really with this. The quality for one is better. So this shoots RAW, as we're talking about. Like it shoots Blackmagic RAW, and it shoots ProRes, which are better codecs for color grading and editing. So you get more data, better quality. So it's like when you shoot JPEG versus when you shoot RAW pictures on your camera. They shoot RAW footage. So that's one big difference. The next difference is you have cinema features. So you can use focus peaking. You can use RGB parade or whatever. Maybe not on the computer. What is it called again? Where you can fucking hell. What name again? I don't remember what name, guys. But the color something, I'm gonna call it that. Where you can use to just see your different light levels.
The green and the red and okay.
Yeah, so you can use all of that to see your different light levels. You can put in LUTs on this to record. You can change a bunch of different frame sizes from anamorphic to UHD to DCI to 6K. You get more professional audio inputs on the camera body. So you have a mini XLR here. You definitely have better audio codec in here that records better audio. You get stereo mics on it. You get a bigger screen. You get different frame rate controls. Just all of the more technical stuff and film-like stuff. So instead of shutter speeds, you can read by shutter angle. You know, all of those different little details that enable you to be more meticulous about what you do to film.
That's alone.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. But it's after a while, you know, you start it just become like nothing to you. So
like a 6D, you know, 6D Mark II, like there's nothing compared. There's no comparison.
Yeah. It has its place, and I've used one to film a lot of times. But you definitely, when you're trying to step up to a different level, you really want to get a camera that can provide you the level of work that you need to do. Alright. So the next thing we have is our focus wheels, a tilter nucleus N hand wheel. So I put this on. So this slides in here. Boom, and of course lock. We need to lock that all the way, and then we will put this way. Boom, and then we just divvy around like that. And I usually leave it not too tight. I leave it loose like that so I can adjust it if I need to. Like about that, yeah. There we go. So I leave that on the side. So if I take the camera overhead like this, I can use that.
You can use it.
Yeah, versus when I have the handles on, which you'll see in a minute. Alright, cool. So now that we have that on, we are going to put on our motors next. We have two motors. So we're gonna put on motor 1 first. And that clamps on here.
So the two of them can put anywhere?
Yeah, you can put them anywhere, but I assign them motor numbers because the focus motor is usually have to be number 1. It doesn't have to on my current setup, but when I'm using it with this hand wheel here, this hand wheel features is that you have to put whatever motor is connected to it to motor 1. So if I'm using this alone, then it will have to use this motor.
So you label stuff them as well?
Yeah, definitely label. Okay, this needs to come out somewhere. Definitely label them. To stay organized, so you can get everything, you know, no bag of fussing when you need to find stuff.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
So you would recommend somebody who just starts out to like buy all of this?
No, take your time and just get things look by look. If you're going to buy all that, try to understand why you're purchasing everything before you just go spend all your money and then don't know if you use it and mash it up. You don't want to waste your money. Mash it up and buy it twice.
Yes, but buy it twice.
Buy it twice, not nice, yeah?
I know the vibe, I know the feeling.
Alright, so we have the next motor. We'll throw this on too.
one is to change aperture.
Yeah, no, zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So focus, iris, zoom. But we only got focus and zoom here. Let's put her in.
So if you had like a cinema lens now, which have the aperture
iris,
on the lens, you would use it to change aperture.
Yeah, I would need a third motor, but if I'm using like I'm not using the CP3s, I don't always put it on the iris because we don't really usually change the iris that much. And with my 8, if I change it, I just do it manually. I also only use one motor because it just makes sense. Just do and that's it. And then I can kind of graduate it because I usually have my AC operating on this. But sometimes I will, if it's me alone hand-holding and pulling focus, then I will put it on the focus and the iris. So because I don't have an AC, so AC won't be pulling. I just put everything together so I don't have to overthink if I'm moving my hands around. But when I have an AC, I just use focus alone. Alright, so we have these set up and the motors are in place. So we have the motor set up now. The next thing is we're gonna put on the handles and we're gonna put on the monitor mount and the monitor. And I'm gonna just screw this in since I have this here. What I use this for is to mount my wireless, which I rent from a brethren. So whenever we need wireless, this is where we go.
Wireless.
So wireless transmitter. So yeah, so this is the wireless transmitter to send wireless video signal to the assistant camera or the video village, so the director can see or a director monitor, etc. Yeah, so that's what that, and this just stays here. So whenever we're ready to go, whenever shoot, we just throw it on and don't have to fret about it. Boom. So that's there. Then we're gonna throw on a pause right here. So this is gonna go on. I need 2 of these. First thing. So this is called an ultralight arm. Ultra arm. I'm gonna put this on. Not ultralight at all. I guess it's lighter than other things, but no. Ultra arm.
Ultralight.
So let's stand up.
Stand up. See.
Boom. So we'll lock that one there, and of course we'll lock everything tight so it don't drop off or pull out. Boom. So we'll drop that this one. Yeah. So we'll drop that there.
And this is just for the monitor?
Yeah, this is just for the monitor. Nothing else but the monitor. We'll drop that this one. Push on this one, yeah. There we go. Boom. Then the monitor, what we have is a best view 4K field monitor. There we go.
So how much is this one?
This one's actually a cheap one. This is like $150 maybe. This is actually my brethren monitor because my monitor died, so I'm sending that off to fix and I'm buying a different one. So the other monitor that I'm going to get, the port keys, you can control the Blackmagic from that monitor. The monitor instead, so I won't have to move this anywhere.
But normally I see people use
small HD.
Yeah, small HD.
Yeah, they're generally very good and robust and reliable monitors.
But
So yeah,
expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. I get the port keys. The port keys is fine. Maybe I get a small HD another time, but you don't need it. Because you have like people like Atomos that makes great monitors too, and different pricing. So just pick a poison. So let's do that to catch. There we go.
So you power this monitor with the V-mount battery.
Yeah, that's correct. So we have it. This one takes DC 5 volt. So we just plug that into the monitor from D-tap from the battery, and then once we do that, we have power for all day. Right. So our monitor is set up. There we go. We're gonna lock him in place right here. Alright, so our monitor set up, we're going to leave that for now, and then we do all the cabling last. We're going to just throw the handles on so we'll have them for now. So these handles, it's another tilter handle, rod mount. So this goes onto the rods. So 15mm rods will clamp in here. You have spaces for the 19mm studio rods, which bigger studio cameras will use.
Like a Red or something?
Yeah, some of the Reds are Arri whatever, Arri Amira. Some of these have wider mounts for them. And then you have Arri rosette mounts on each side. So that's going to take the handles, which I'm going to put on afterwards. So here we go. So mount this here.
I realize that you have like a good amount of tilter stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, tilter is pretty. The prices of the tilter stuff is good and the quality is very good. So it's not too expensive and the quality is still very good.
I was gonna ask if them sponsor or something.
They do not, but they probably should. Sure. So yeah, feel the way tight now so far. Boom. There you go. Yeah. So we're getting there. So we have just a few more things I would do. So put on this handle now. I'm gonna leave them inverted since I have it on the desk. So put that there. I rosette so it locks, doesn't slip. There we go. Like that. Then we have our sorry guys. Then we have still a record. Then we have this now. We have a tilter fizz handle. So this one does focus and zoom. So we have a focus knob here, and we have a zoom rocker here. And this will mount to the side of this also, which I'll leave inverted. So this basically controls my wireless motors. So I'd have to.
So from right here.
Yeah, from this. Yeah. So if I do have an AC, I will be using this on my shoulder to control my focus and zoom. Yeah. And you can program the zoom to different speeds. So say you want a slow 1% zoom or 2% zoom. You can post here, you can do that, and you just go take its time. You push the rocker forward and you just take your time. And you can set different focus points and marks. So say you're doing a repeated movement and you need the focus to be rack sharp and hit certain marks, you can set your marks for focus. I think you can set ranges for zoom too. So you can have a zoom range too. And when you have the handle, which I left that. So you have the handle, you can do all of that stuff too. Actually left that. Wish I brought it so I could have showed you, but let's focus on camera. So yeah, so we're leaving this inverted. So I leave them inverted like this till when like I need to like put it on shoulder, which I'll probably show you guys too. And the last thing that will go on before we wire up is our mat box. So our mat box by Bright Tangerine, one of my favorite brands. It's very lightweight mat box, and this is a clamp on mat box, so it clamps onto the lens. Oops. So you can put in an adapter, whatever. So here's my adapter here. Boom, done. Tighten that up. Straight. If I ask you, you know. But you don't know what straight is. Alright, boom. There we go. So there. And of course, we keep that shit tight. There we go. So that's pretty much almost our rig so far.
When it comes on to ND filters, where you put ND?
So the NDs now would go, if you guys can see here, the NDs would go in this frame. So this is a 2-stage mat box, which means it takes 2 stages of ND, so 2 sheets of ND glass. So this one can take
you
4.
You use like the glass ND.
Yeah. I use both the circular and the glass. So when I use in the mat box, most of the times I use the 4x5.6, which is a rectangular ND, and I just slap one in there, so I'm done. Boom. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so that's what I do for that. And then you have your eyebrow to block out perf, shading and light side to block out that too. So let's do the cabling now. We're gonna do our cabling and then we'll be pretty much done. So we need to pour the mat box is straight. Where you know about straight? Where you know about straight? Oh, it lean now. It did straighten before. I lean now. Hold on, it won't tighten. Denny did. Oh my gosh, Denny. Boy, tighten things. Too much. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, man, Denny's 5. Boy, tight. Yo, don't let Denny tighten any equipment.
Denny can unlock them.
Denny tighten them too much. Can he unlock them? No, I'm struggle too. That's the worst part. You tighten it and then struggle. No, I'm not learning it. I'm still tightening it. Alright, cool. Oh, I actually forgot one more thing. The hard drive. How dare we?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yup. I pretend. So, shoot and or something, and then be like, oh, alright, no, the light not set up yet. So you runner, go get a memory card. Need a memory card? No, just run, go get that. So yeah, so we have our hard drive in place. We're going to just run all our cabling now for power. So we have power. We're going to start with our focus motors. You can daisy chain your motors, which means connecting one motor to the next one to get power. So we'll connect to the
layman's terms bridge.
Basically you can bridge the power, but you know the legal bridging. So you just blow one here, so it have a line and pin alignment. There we go, aligned, and
so that's normally daisy chain.
Yeah. Big up daisy on our chain. Boom. Good. This one actually. Shining Mona Lisa. Feel like I normally do it right now. I feel like to it right. I feel like I normally when we do it all the way. I feel like I normally do it. Let's try. Let's see if that's what it was. Whoops. Bloops. There we go. Yeah, so our cable nice and curvy. Then we have our next one that will go from the motor to D-tap. The second motor. So we're gonna plug her. We're actually gonna take this back out so I can run the cable in. I normally run the cable in under the drive so it gets out of the way. So I will run it through here. And then pull it out here. And then put it in here. Boom, find the pin. Boom, there we go. So
connect straight to the V mode.
Yep. So then now we can just run this here. So since him kind of aim can stay there, so if not we'll move him. Then we can run it here and we plug it into the D box. And that's power. So we have power there. First thing, power. Second one, we shall run power for the camera and power for the monitor. I generally keep a battery in here, the LPE6 battery, just so in case you know the battery is dead and you can hot swap. So you can swap this main battery without losing power.
Yeah, without losing power. Cause I realized that so I've been on set where the battery dead.
Yeah.
On the V mode, which you never really realize until it's dead.
Yeah.
And then say why I see the battery icon for the camera and I say, oh crap, battery dead, change V mode.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. Cause you don't want your battery die, and then when your battery dies, it's not like the red them where we save the footage. You will lose your footage if that battery dies.
Yep.
So you have to make sure that you have one in there.
Already.
Yeah.
Been
Been there, done that, haven't we all? Sure. So I'll go wrap this up here. So shine on the sun. And then we're gonna plug him right here. So done. So we can tighten that back. So we still have power to our camera. We're already getting power. Boom. The next thing now will power our monitor. So we're gonna power our monitor and we're gonna thread our cable through the ultra arm till we reach up here. So again, run it under. Am I gonna run it under here? Actually, usually run it up here. So, but I wonder maybe I can try something different today. Run it under here, and then run it through here, up there, through here.
That's what it's made for.
Yeah, to keep your cabling tight. Well, I mean, I would assume so. That's what I use it for. But it helps to keep your cabling tidy, or as tidy as you can keep cables. Cool. I feel like I need more length on this cable. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Still boops. Or should I do 2 more? I'm gonna do one. Let's do 1 more. Right here. So one here. So. Then, fool Randall. There you go. Boom. So we got power here, and then we can just slip him right behind it. This is a God dream.
So is the so this is powered, right?
Yeah, the camera.
But just
so it shows you the voltage, which is 15 volts, because that's what the brick is pushing. If you only had the LPE6 battery in there alone, it would be pushing 7.2 volts.
No. When I power from the V mount.
Yeah.
I don't.
How much you get?
I don't see. I just said I don't get this.
You get percentage?
Yeah.
Oh, you can change it. Oh.
Oh yeah.
This was can change. So when you change it,
I just see AC.
Yeah.
I only get AC.
Yeah.
I only see this one having LTE battery.
Yeah, man. So that's solid on
But
that.
I don't know why them create these with the LPE batteries and it's garbage.
Because it's really a prosumer camera. It's not really a professional camera. That's why. So, but it is garbage, and it's just good enough to just if you really
it's not
need
good
to.
enough to power these. Probably 6Ds and so on, but not this.
Yes, that's certainly not. Yeah, because if you buy like a more professional level camera, you don't have to do as much of this stuff. They come with like certain things built in. You still will have a rig on. You can put your battery directly on the camera usually, and then you have only you just putting on is just your rod mount. And your handles will probably you won't need a cage because your handle can go straight on the camera. So, whoops. Switch out of the way. So now we make sure that we're not getting the signal. Wrong port. There you go. Alright, so signal is up. You open up. And there we go. And then we can just pull our phone and turn it so you can see. And then we just pull our focus. There we go. And then I can turn on focus peaking.
No card.
Can turn there. Yeah, because it's not plugged in yet, yeah. So let's
in.
plug this in now. Let's turn it off, turn my LUT on. I set my shortcuts there already, so that's good. There we go. Now we got card.
128 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm probably shooting at like 6K or something. No, 128, probably 1080. So let's see what we at. We're at 12 to 1, 6K. Oh, not bad. 12 to 1, 6K. If I shoot 8 to 1, then it's gonna be less time. 5 to 1. So let's go 12 to 1. Boom. Alright, so we are done. And there you go. One fully set up Blackmagic rig.
This is a lot.
There you go. And you have to do that if you have to prep your camera before shoots, and this is why we charge for prep days and all of them stuff. Like if you have to switch lens, you have to recalibrate, make sure everything works, make sure everything's sturdy, yada 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 yada. Like it's a big proper workout.
So like a setup with like this. So how much a setup like this would cost?
Including the camera?
Yeah, everything like.
Everything with the motors, everything. This could easily be. Let me just match up in my brain. This could be probably like a $8,000, $9,000 setup. I don't think it reached 10,000 US yet. I don't think so. Cause between the camera, which is called a 2.4, the motors, which is like 1.4, and then the lens, which is like it was like about 900 at the time.
Yeah, but I think about 800 a bit.
Yeah. So between all of them, maybe $8,000 probably. Matte box, $500 for this stupid thing. Lens, all of those little things add up. You don't know, batteries, all the little accessories that you need. So this camera probably costs about that. And then there's still all the other accessories that you need. You need your kit with all the tools that you need to make sure so you're ready on the day. You don't have to be. Sometimes you can have an AC. Some ACs don't have the good ACs out here have all the things they need. But sometimes on some shoots it might be just me alone and maybe a grip. Or if it's a proper shoot, then I'll have an AC. But I still like to carry my own kit with me, just in case when I'm setting up and building and pulling on the camera, or when I'm switching over to a Ronin or whatever, I have all the tools I need. And in between your cases, whatever, it can run you. But this has been acquired over time, so it's not like I spent all of this one day and bought. I had these parts for a couple years already because I had a different Blackmagic. The old one, the silver brick one, I have that one too. So that was my first Blackmagic camera that I bought, and I bought. These eventually got this from Darren. I bought this from Darren. I think was this from Darren? No, I probably bought it online. Darren recommended this battery. I bought that online too, and eventually I got everything else little by little. Bought this from Darren. Yeah. Yeah, since we can.
Yeah, I think they can do that. Alright, since you said that you apply them over time, what's going to be the integral parts that you need, that you can, or parts that you can do without, and it's still not full workout?
I would say if you're going to think about like you're starting out and you can't really buy everything. Let's say for example you buy a Blackmagic because it's like $1,300 for the 4K one. I would say you need a cage, you need a cable clamps, you need, obviously you have the lens, you need a hard drive, and you need batteries. Yeah.
Oh, remember, it says 4K, you need the adapter.
The adapter for the
4K.
4K for which adapter for it? Oh yeah, and you need the adapter because the 4K uses micro four thirds.
Yes,
so you need the adapter if you want to mount. Pretty much, it's necessary. It's necessary.
The adapter is very necessary.
Yeah, so you need the adapter, the cage, something to protect the camera body, adapter for lenses, a power solution. It doesn't have to be this big one. It could be a NP battery power solution, but some kind of external. You don't have to get a D box. You could just get a V mount plate, which is cheap. Cheaper, like less than like $50. So cheaper, yeah. So and then after that, yeah, a monitor isn't necessary, but you can get a monitor. So you could just use the back monitor for the timing with the cover for it, and you're good to go and you shoot like that. But eventually, that you can start with that, and that will be fine. But yeah, this is definitely everything. And then if we're operating it now, if say we're operating it this way, on shoulder, just swing the handles down, swing that there. So we can swing this down forward. And then there we go, and then we position our monitor down here. And one of the key important things is, what for me, what I like with my rig, I like to make sure that everything's really secure so that I can do this. If you can't do this with your camera, then your camera not ready. Your camera not ready. You're supposed to be able to do this, and your camera solid. This is proper. So you know, so you now go, nothing now slip, nothing now whatever. If you grab a handle, the handle can hold it. If you grab a there, you can do that. And you know, from here I'll pull my monitor down right here in front of me, and then I will be pulling focus from here and doing my zooms from there.
Okay, like record something, let me see.
Yeah, speed in, and there's our behind the scenes right there. Zoom in on her. There we go, beautiful smile. And our lovely crew supporting women. There we go. There we go.
Nice.
Bam.
Nice. This kind of too close?
No man, everything's perfect.
Good.
I'm framed, yeah, I'm framed. It's a nice like close up, medium close up.
Mad.
Yeah.
Yo, that's looking nice.
And then I can zoom in if I need to, and do a fast zoom. So I have a trigger right here. Look right here. So I have a trigger here that I set to a faster speed. So when I hold it, I can get a faster zoom speed. So if you look on the motor, look at the motor now. You see the motor moves fast and it turns, and then I can do a slower one.
Oh, I see.
So I can do a slow. So I can reprogram it to whatever speed I want. So I can do that. So if you want to do like a dancehall style, yeah, we can do that if you want. And then the rocker, the zoom rocker, you can gauge it. So if you want to do a slower creep, you can actually just push it. If you push it all the way, it won't zoom as fast. You can take your time and gauge it like a throttle. Yeah.
So this like can do like a dolly zoom.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And there you go.
That dope.
There you go.
Dope. Cut speed.
Woo! Heavy. Wait, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap.